Hello everyone, I'm Captain the Warlord, and welcome back to another Rome 2 video. Today we've taken a little bit of a break from replays here. We're going to do a tip video. Just going to throw this out here. These are not professional tips. These are just tips that I have used to improve my gameplay experience. And so yeah, they're just ways that I've improved. And I want to share them with you guys to hopefully help you guys improve as well if you are newer to the game. Another thing is, the tips are not ordered for something from like most effective to least effective. They're just ordered in a way. I just figured that would probably be best. So don't think that number one is going to be the most effective tip. That's not really how it is. And also, if you're new and you don't really know which DLCs to buy, I will leave a link down in the description for a fantastic website that has every DLC listed with every faction and perk that comes with it. So if you want to check that out, definitely go down in the description and look at that before you want to buy a DLC, if you do. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys at the end. Before we start off the listing, I would like to give a little tip to the factions that you should start out with using. If you don't have any DLCs, these will probably be the best factions for you to use. On attack, Arverni, very good infantry. I don't think they require any DLCs. Their units all come in the base game. Very good archers as well. Very solid faction for attacking and defending. Carthage is also probably the best attacking faction as well from starting off. And with exception to Rome, Carthage is also very good on defense. And Egypt is also a very good starting defensive faction because they have these Levithuriel spears, which are very good for their price, and stuff like Carrying Axemen, very cost-effective units. So yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there, and yeah, enjoy the listing tiers. Coming in at number 10, we have the fill out your roster to the max potential. So what this means is to completely fill your roster out with all 20 units. This is on large funds, that is normally what I play on. It doesn't necessarily mean bring all crap units. It's just, you know, you should always try to bring quality in most situations. Sometimes that's not, you know, 100% true. Yeah, but for most situations you're going to want to bring a full roster. Just tends to work out the best, because if you bring all elite troops, they just get focused down by javelins and archers. But if you bring a lot more weaker troops that the enemy has to shoot at as well, if they don't, it will do a lot of damage. So yeah, that's just a little tip to help improve your attacking if you haven't already. Coming in at number 9, we have always bring the maximum amount of archers. This applies to really attack or defense, but it's crucial for attack as well. They're used to, you know, get good archer angles at the enemy. They're essential to breaking through. You need to bring them, and they can even have multiple uses. We'll get into the guerrilla deployment of these Gallic hunters here in a future tip, but yeah, definitely always bring maximum number of archers. Coming in at number 8, we have always prepare for an ambush. As you can see here, there is just a absolutely massive sally out from the defenders, and this is really bad because the archers are completely exposed, and there's artillery over here, and the attackers really don't even know what's going on. If they had some infantry covering here and some more infantry covering over here besides just one unit of cavalry, it would have been very bad. So always be cautious of who you're attacking against, and always just put a couple units to protect your archers or your artillery, even your general in some situations. Coming in at number 7, we have a way to easily destroy wall already on civilized settlements. So all you need to do is bring a guerrilla deployment unit for any faction that has the option to do it, and you equip them onto a tower, and you put them in a anywhere in a zone that allows you to get the back shot onto the arty crew. So what I mean is I line these guys up right about here, and those 2 scorpions on this tower could shoot over here and into the back of an arty crew that is positioned here if they do decide to. I can do the same thing right here, position these guys right onto this position, have them fire into the backs of these guys. So we'll start the battle here and see what happens. So the AI did decide to deploy an arty crew right here. My scorpions are starting to wind up, and they put some shots up into the backs of these guys. Yeah, the hitboxes is kind of strange, but trust me, over a little bit of time, we'll see here if we can actually see it, they will kill this scorpion crew, or in this case, the ballista crew. This is kind of some unlucky shots. It does depend. Yeah, there we go. 2 guys gone, and now this crew is ineffective. You do require 3 men to man it, and so these guys, this arty crew is rendered ineffective, and you could feel free to march your army up here without being harassed by arty. Moving into number 6, we have look for as many avenues of attack as possible. So what this means is try to put pressure on the enemy whenever you can. So what I'm doing here is, this is just a demonstration army. Normally I would never bring an army like this. I brought like a battering ram, so if I can take this tower up and neutralize the gate, then put the battering ram on, and I won't have to worry about burning oil. Have some siege towers over here to get down this wall. I have some siege towers protecting this artillery, but then I can use this artillery to break down that wall there, so I'd have a nice breach point. And that's only if you only should do this if you don't have a faction that doesn't have tortoises, and have some towers over here. So I'll be putting pressure on the enemy here. I'll be making a breach point here so I could get a ground invasion going over here, and if I had archers I could position them right here and fire any units that are trying to hold here or something. So yeah, just try to look for as many possible ways for you to attack the enemy as possible, and make sure that they're having to spread out their armies as much as possible. Alright guys, moving at number 5, we have the tortoise glitch. This is a glitch that a lot of people don't really know about, and that's okay. It's really just a learning curve. It's a lot of times when you put a bunch of tortoises up on a wall at the same time, sometimes what they'll do is they'll glitch out. One will destroy a wall. It'll be a little bit ahead of another one here. I'll have this one wait just a little bit more, then I'll send it in. Basically what will happen is the tortoise will glitch out and it won't destroy the wall because it's some sort of weird bug. So let's see here if the tortoises will do it. Sometimes it doesn't happen. You can't get lucky. I'm pretty sure it will happen here. Yeah. So you saw this one here in the middle. It's not finished destroying this wall. That's because for whatever reason, once the one next to it finishes destroying the wall, and it's kind of getting close to finishing it. This one's kind of getting close to finishing its own piece of wall. It for some reason decides to glitch out. And so yeah, what you can do to fix this is send them up in intervals. So what you could have done is send this one up and this one up. Then once those two walls are destroyed, then send this one up in the middle. Then you would have had no problem with it whatsoever. Yeah, that's just something to keep in mind out of, just to make sure you get as much effective use of your tortoise as possible. Coming in at number 4, we have use your archers and spear throwing units effectively. So this can include stuff like Pila, oh nice shot there by the Artie, and it can include stuff like these mercenary Iberian swordsmen that can have the ability to manually throw their javelins, but most importantly it's using your archers to good effect. Here we have some archers firing up and over and getting into the flanks of these units here, and also helping fire these flanks over here and breaking the gates. If you can get good angles with your skirmish units, then you're gonna have a much easier time at breaking through the enemy and overall overwhelming your enemy's defense. And as you can see here, just another really good volley coming in here and just getting into the side of these guys. Not killing a whole lot, but I guess the stake kind of blocks some of it. But yeah, that will really help you break through your defense. Coming in at number 3, we have use your faction strength and know what faction you're bringing. So let's say I were to pick a random faction. Let's go with Bactria. If you look, Bactria's roster kind of lackluster in infantry. Spears, they're okay. They have pikes, and they have really good archers and really good cav, and they have excellent elephants. So you may or may not opt for some elephants, but 100% I'd recommend you bring good archers at Bactria. So these guys, elite Persians, I try to stay away from them on large funds. They tend not to perform as well. Normally I'd go with like an Eastern Slinger, but yeah. Even like a unit of Hellenic Cataphracts, that can be good on attack, on helping you break through choke points later in the game. But just knowing your faction and knowing what it excels at will will help you beat other enemies. Because if you're going against Rome, you're not going to beat them in infantry departments, so you have to get creative. Coming in at number 2, we have support your army. This might be the most important role as an attacker. Never go in with any part of your army unsupported. If I were to send these tortoises in and send all my infantry in, as a matter of fact, and I was playing against an actual player, what they would most likely do is just deploy some guys maybe here, and send some guys up on the walls to block them, and then just use your archers to absolutely pick them off. Or what they could do is sally out and just destroy all these lightly armored infantry with their cavalry. Always what you want to do is have your army within close support of each other. Even if you're newer to attacking, always get your army in a position where if one flank was to start falling, you could send reinforcements from somewhere, or you can have archer support or something to keep your attack going. So this is probably, like I said, the most important role as an attacker. Maybe. Tied with number 1, I'd say. Coming in at number 1, we have possibly the most important role as an attacker is to never go in alone. As you can see here, this is against the AI, I know, but attacking the enemy all along the wall and not going in just by yourself, having another player to distract some of the enemy forces while you push in as well, will help you so much more. And if you just go in alone, then you're just going to be focused down. And so that's why it's so good to just pushing together and never just think that you can do it on your own. Always get support from your allies and try your best to stick next to your allies in any situation possible. Coming in with number 10 for the defenders, we have bring at least some cav presence. A lot of people think when you bring some cav you should charge it out right away and sally out. That's not always the case. Just bringing 1 or 2 units of cav to kind of put on the flanks of an enemy can really help you a lot in the long run. What you can do is just make sure that the enemy's always on their toes, and once they kind of start committing their army, you can they'll start to be making more mistakes outside the settlement, and you'll be able to swoop in and take out important targets such as artillery and archers. And it's a really good way of just putting pressure on your enemy and being a little bit more aggressive on the defense. Coming in at number 9, we have look for the most cost-effective trades possible. Really what multiplayer comes down to is a money game. So how much you put into a unit, you're going to want to get that much back and more. So say you're putting in an Italian sword, you're not going to want to put an Italian sword against a Galatian Royal Guard. That's not going to be at all worth its price. Maybe you can throw some javelins into them for the precursors, but using your Italian swords maybe to kill, 2 units of Egyptian infantry or getting into some carrying axemen, that's what you want to look for. You don't want to look, or maybe even putting a unit up on a wall and peppering to hold down a more elite unit and to putting in some archers into the flank of it. It all comes down to how much you're gaining out of that situation, and that can really help you improve your defense if you're looking for more effective trades. Coming in at number 8, we have form the most effective kill boxes as possible. Now I know I say effective, this probably isn't the most effective kill box, but really what this is, if a unit was to come in over here, they'd be attacked by Samnites, then the archers up on this high ground could fire down into the direct flank and absolutely destroy any unit. Same thing coming in over here, we have a Samnites holding right here. If a unit were to come in, they'd be charged by the Samnites, thrown in the flank by these Thurio spears, and shot in the flank by these archers. Just stuff like that will help you improve your game. You always want to put let the enemy come to you and put them into these bad situations as a defender, and that will help you out significantly in your defense. Coming in at number 7, we have never blob your archers. So this means having 2 archer units overlap each other. This is a big no-no. So if we see here, we have 2 units of archers firing into this Galatian sword, and they're barely getting off any shots. You can see nothing's really coming out of these guys, a couple of arrows here and there. And yeah, look, it's really bad. Now if we were to spread these guys out and not have them overlap each other, well, look at how much better their fire rate goes. And this is a big mistake I see people make a lot. People don't think it affects them a whole lot, but it really makes a huge difference. And if we spread them out, they all fire a lot more volleys. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Always keep your archers as spread out as possible, and it will do the maximum amount of damage and just the right amount of damage you're looking for. Coming in at number 6, we have know your opponents or factions. So what this means is knowing your faction's kind of specialties and knowing of what they will do good or bad against. So say I take Athens against Kush, that I will lose that fight on paper 100%. All I really have for good killing power is Thorax Swords and Thracian Warriors, but if you look here, Thorax Swords 75 armor, and Shotel Warriors, just a regular Shotel. Let's give these guys some Shotels, and if I go over them, they have I think it's a 12 armor piercing, so that is a ton of armor piercing. So I'd want to go something like, where are they? Boyai. They will do so much better against Kush because of their lower armor. Actually, they have the same armor, but they have much better melee stats and will be able to beat Kush in a much easier fashion. Coming in at number 5, we have tips with wall arty. If say you're just, obviously you're probably not going to face an entire army of slave infantry, but say you are, never use explosive shot. It will never do as much damage as you're probably looking for. Flaming shot tends to be the way to go. It can destroy artillery a lot more and actually has a splash area damage that regular shot doesn't. So always use that. It will decrease your accuracy, but it will get you a whole lot of damage done. And if you're trying to hit a target that's a little bit out of range from your arc, all you have to do is hold Alt and right click into that unit, and your artillery piece will actually move. This is something that a lot of players don't know, and now I can fire at his general. A terrible shot, but yeah, you get the point. And say you want to fire into the city as well, you can turn your artillery around, and it doesn't seem to be doing it right now, but if you wanted to later in the game, you could also do that as well, and it'll work perfectly fine. Coming in at number 4, we have use your Pila. So this can be used to devastating effects here. You can see I have a unit of spearmen engaged. It is just against some slave infantry, but if I was to take this unit of noble swords over here and just allow them to fire into the flank of these guys, they should unload a devastating volley, and they already have 35 kills without even charging into combat. And once I use all my Pila, then I would charge these guys in, pull these guys out, and then let them to use their Pila as well. I can also do it with these guys over here, have those guys start throwing their Pila, and you will start to receive massive amounts of results just using your Pila on lower tier troops going into much more higher tier troops. Coming at number 3, we have, if you're afraid of your arty being destroyed by some sort of attacking siege tower like the Scorpions on them, just simply put a cheap unit of infantry up on the wall to absorb the Scorpion fire ammo, and most of the time it will prevent your arty crew from being destroyed. This is a tactic that a lot of people use, and if you're looking to hopefully keep your siege towers, your wall arty up for a little bit longer, this could be a way to help you do that. Coming in at number 2, we have fight for the walls. This is something that a lot of people you won't see not do. They'll just fall back to an inner citadel and just get absolutely slaughtered. No, you always want to fight for the walls because you can just trap the enemy up there and use your archers to just absolutely destroy their flank. And also, you have the support of the arrow towers. Arrow towers, you might not realize it, but they do a ton of damage, and they are the kind of hidden tool of the defenders. So if you can keep these towers in your favor, you can rack up a lot of kills without actually having to do anything. And just holding the walls as general is just a much better way of killing the enemy in a quicker fashion and doing it more effectively. Coming in at number 1, we have don't take defense too literally. Be aggressive on your defense. It doesn't mean send your whole army out and sally out. It means use your terrain to your advantage and try to prevent the enemy from getting the walls into some circumstances. Just try your best to put the enemy into an uncomfortable situation and try to catch them really, quite honestly, off guard, and try to pick off some of their key units without them really being able to do anything. And this a lot of times will be really effective at just winning the battle if you take out the archers and artillery and you take out a lot of infantry before it can even reach the walls. It will a lot of times destroy the enemy morale before a battle really even begins, and it can quite honestly just do a lot of damage in the end. And it's 100% always recommend being aggressive as a defender, not too much to the point where you throw your whole army away, but just enough so where it's just as effective enough. Alright, to wrap up this video, I'd just like to say please leave a like if you did enjoy. It really does help me gauge how much you guys do like the content. And also feel free to leave any questions down below on anything that I've said in this video. Like I said in the beginning, this is entirely based off of personal experience, and this isn't 100% going to make you a better player, but you try integrating some of this stuff into your gameplay, and I hope it would, if you are struggling, it will help you see some more results and start winning battles more often if you are struggling to do that. But yeah, like I said, please make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.